Heads up, this is absolutely the most spine-chilling horror movie you will ever come across. If you're looking for some late-night thrill, this movie is your best pick. Are you ready? The last show is on now. Lauren is a fresh recruit in the police force. On his first day at work, he was assigned a special task to guard an about-to-be relocated police station overnight. The remaining sheriff informed him that all alarm lines had been transferred to the new police station, and it would be extremely quiet tonight, but dangerous from midnight to 4 a.m. Do not leave this place. What possible danger could there be in an about-to-be abandoned office building? Lauren, all alone on his duty, felt a bit bored initially, but he soon realized it's going to be a nightmarish experience that he would never be able to shake off. Shortly thereafter, the police phone rang, and a woman claimed she was kidnapped, and several people around her had died. When Lauren was about to ask some more questions, the line abruptly got cut. He reported the situation to the new police station, but the attendant there appeared quite surprised. All the lines of the old police station had been redirected. Logically, the police phone there shouldn't ring. Perplexed, the other side said that the line would be rechecked to ensure the old station's phone wouldn't ring again. But as he hung up the phone, there was a knock from outside. Lauren practically ransacked the entire station but didn't find the origin of the knocking. The exterior of the police station was peaceful, devoid of any personnel. When he was about to return, he noticed a man standing inside. The man stood rigid, as if he didn't hear him. He couldn't leave such an odd person unattended on the street until he was able to confirm the man's identity. Lauren hauled the man into the interrogation room. Afterwards, the door spontaneously shut and the entire office building went dark. Lauren speculated that somebody had shut the door from the outside, but the next second, the building's power restored to normal, and he quickly grabbed his flashlight and scurried out of the interrogation room. It must have been a hallucination, certainly. It was just a hallucination. Lauren tried to convince himself to calm down. He locked all the entrances and exits to ensure that no foreigner broke in. But as he walked through a room, Lauren thought that someone must be messing with him. Perhaps all the strangeness he just experienced was part of this police station's initiation for newcomers. The stone doorbell rang. A male officer stood outside the door. Lauren believed he was the instigator of these pranks, but Ryan quickly denied it. He just wanted to come and ensure that Lauren was still safe. It turned out that Ryan and Lauren's father were colleagues. Exactly a year ago today, they were given the dangerous task of apprehending a cult named Paimon. Lauren's father was unfortunately killed in action. After seeing that Lauren was all right, Ryan left. The strange thing is, there was a big hole in the back of Ryan's head. Lauren's laughter vanished instantly. He hurriedly chased him out, but Ryan had disappeared as if he had never been there. At this time, something even stranger occurred. At the corner of the corridor, a man wearing a hood slowly crawled out. Lauren was shaken up by the sight in front of him. After taking a deep breath, he rushed out again, but the hooded man had vanished. Began to question whether it was a hallucination or reality. The vagrant confined in the white water room cried out for help. Lauren tried to calm the vagrant from the door. Suddenly, 3 hooded figures loomed behind the vagrant. Lauren convinced himself it was unreal. Suddenly, the sound of a woman singing echoed through the office building. Lauren was led by the song to a room where several girls were seated in front of a mirror. Fear seeped into Lauren as cold sweat dripped down his face. The girls seemed to notice his presence and turned their heads one by one. A burst of girls' voices remained behind the homeless man. Lauren hadn't disappeared yet. He had suspicions someone was hiding in this office building. As he conducted a room-by-room search, the TV in one of the rooms suddenly flashed with snowflakes. Then a man appeared on the screen. He was none other than Paimon, last year's murderer who kidnapped and killed over 50 young women. This was his interrogation video after he was caught. However, the odd thing was Paimon seemed to be conversing with Lauren. At the video's end, he laughingly said he'd return for him. At that moment, the chair in the room rapidly moved towards Lauren. All he saw was a figure staring at him. Then Lauren was knocked down by a fast-moving chair. This made him question his beliefs. The duty room's phone rang once more, with the woman on the other end again. This time, Lauren learned more information. The kidnapped girl was Monica. She had escaped from the farm and was now running towards a forest. After the signal was once again interrupted, Lauren reported his intel to the new police station. However, the operator stayed silent for a while before informing him that the woman was called. She died a year ago, and she was the last girl killed in the Paimon massacre. Her death occurred in the woods, not far from the farm where the crime took place. Lauren was completely stunned. Who was the person who had called just now? At this time, the officer meeting with Lauren told her that the old police station's closure was not due to aging pipes. The Paimon family didn't die at the scene as reported in the news, but died in the rapids room of the old police station. After their death, unexplained phenomena began to occur in the office building. Then a photo floated in from outside the door. Loren hung up the phone, and she discovered that the photo was of her father when he died in the line of... It wasn't only this photo that shattered her mind. The floor of the corridor was covered with photos of young women who had been murdered by the Paymon family. Loren's head began to throb with pain, and soon after she lost consciousness. When she woke up again, the photos were gone. The phone in the duty room rang again. The caller was still the woman who called herself Monica. This time, Loren wasn't bewitched and yelled into the microphone. There was no sound on the phone, but the desk began to shake violently. Loren looked under the table. She hid in the cracks of the filing cabinet. At that moment, real fear crept closer and closer to her. Loren was terrified. She wanted to escape this strange office building, but she couldn't open the door. Loren tried to break the glass, but the bullet disappeared as soon as it hit the glass. She touched the glass door in front of her in disbelief when her phone rang. Loren stared blankly at the number on her phone. When the voice came out of the microphone, Loren cried with emotion. It was her father, who had passed away a year ago. Her father first praised Loren, then told her not to. He had given his life for this job and asked his daughter to do the same. Then the father told Loren that the man who had killed his father was in this building, and he wanted Loren to do something. Suddenly, a homeless man he was holding walked up from behind him. After Loren chased him, the homeless man seemed to be waiting for him. He let the homeless man put his hands behind his back and lie on the ground. When Loren was about to lean on the homeless man, there was a sudden power outage in the building and the homeless man disappeared. He rushed to the storage room, but when he opened the door, the homeless man had already hanged himself. There were strange symbols and words written around the wall. This was beyond the problem they could solve on their own. Loren started to call for reinforcements, but suddenly there was a cry of pain on the walkie-talkie. Loren threw off the walkie-talkie. When he wanted to leave the suffocating room, a strange light suddenly appeared behind him, and a video was being played out of thin air behind him. This was Paymon and two cult members with a tiger's mouth bitten, drawing a strange picture on the mask that seemed to sense Loren's presence. Paymon slowly turned around. Loren stepped back in fear. The next second, Paymon took off his hood. He glared at Loren fiercely. This scene almost scared Loren to death. He ran towards the exit in fear. He fought fiercely at the gate with three men who were also wearing hoods. Loren's sense of mission surged instantly. He chased after the three men. At the back door, Loren successfully knocked down a man, but the man was not afraid. He still provoked Loren verbally. Loren, who couldn't bear it, killed the man directly. Loren looked at the sheriff in disbelief, and then turned his head to look at the man blocking the door. That was not a cult follower wearing a hood at all. Time went back to a minute ago. The man who was hit was an employee of the scrap cleanup company, but in Loren's eyes, he was a demon wearing a hood. After the warning was ineffective, Loren shot and killed the man. It was already 4 o'clock in the morning. Loren still couldn't believe what had just happened, but he did kill an innocent person. The sheriff called for reinforcements from the headquarters, but in his eyes, it was the evil Paymon family standing in front of him. Although this is a low-budget movie, the horror atmosphere of the whole film is very well set. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching the full version once.